Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste. A few months ago, I had uploaded here in YouTube channel a detailed commentary in Malayalam in 4 parts on this ancient work, Tripurasundari Dandagam, composed by the Venerable Acharya Sri Deepakanatha Siddha. Some of my friends asked me to give it in English also, so that even those who do not follow Malayalam can understand this rare hymn. So I thought of making a modest attempt of giving a commentary in English also, even though my English standard, both grammar and pronunciation, is not all that good. So if you notice a lot of errors there, kindly condone, forgive. Tripurasundari Dandagam is one of the rarest of rare hymns sung in tantric parlance in praise of the Divine Mother Sri Tripura or Sri Tripurasundari. It gives an elaborate description of the dazzling beauty of the Divine Mother's physical form from feet to head in the first part, and some intricate details of the principles of Mantra Shastra, Kundalini and other Srividya doctrines in the later part. The poetic style of this Dandagam is highly ornate yet graceful. Use of long compounds and many epithets and appellations embellished with figures of speech were considered to be the best style in classical Sanskrit poetry, Kavya style, and that is what we find in this work also, even though it is a prayer hymn. The flow of elegant sounding Sanskrit words in rhythmic order adds great beauty and a mystic charm to the contents of this poem, which is nothing but the glory of the goddess who is praised in this hymn. Here we should remember one thing. As I just said, applying poetic fancy or imagination profusely is the Kavya style in Sanskrit literature. Use of many compounds in long sentences with extended descriptions and allusions may sometimes exasperate an uninitiated reader, who may find it extremely cumbersome in understanding the meaning easily and quickly. But the mere sound of the words, Sanskrit words and letters, when used or applied by spiritually adept venerable masters in devotional hymns like this, charged with mantra shakti, brings about a powerful vibration and a transcendental sublime effect, which is more important, because these are stotras, invocative recitations, and a sadhaka, a spiritual aspirant, aims to get more benefit out of this divine power of such hymns by chanting them. Acharya Sri Deepakanatha Siddha is the author of this Tripurasundari Dandagam. We do not know much about this Acharya. We do not know if he had written any more work. Though he is acclaimed as the first commentator of Vamakeshwara Tantram, we do not have that commentary nor any other work of Sri Deepakanatha Siddha. As Siddha in his name indicates, he must have been a highly accomplished master in tantric yoga sadhana, and as such the spiritual power of this hymn must be very high. There is one Sri Deepak Kalanatha, worshipped as one of the Siddha Augha Gurus in the Guru Mandala of Sri Chakra, and he should not be confused with this author Sri Deepakanatha Siddha. Sri Deepak Kalanatha is venerated as belonging to the Guru Parampara pertaining to the Dwapara Yuga. So this name, Sri Deepak Kalanatha, has more of a mystical significance only. The period of our author, Sri Deepakanatha Siddha, should be after 11th century AD. The first verse of this Dandagam, Jayati Nija Sudhambhas Sambhava, appears as the benedictory verse in the work called Kavi Kantha Bharanam, a work on Sanskrit poetics and metrics by the famous Sri Kshemendra, who lived during the first half of 11th century AD. The last and the 29th verse of this Dandagam, beginning with Brahmendra Rudra Harichandra, is also the 30th verse of Charchastavam in Panchastavi, composed by or believed to have been composed by Sri Dharmacharya, who is considered to be of 10th century AD. Therefore, it can be presumed that the period of composition of Tripura Sundari Dandagam is the later part of 11th century AD. It is a presumption solely based just on these two evidences only. We don't know really which Acharya adopted from whose work. Sri Rajanaka Jayarathacharya is an author who is famous for his masterly commentary on Tantra Loka, the magnum opus of the great Sri Abhinavagupta Acharya. This Acharya Jayaratha also wrote a commentary on Vamakeshwara Tantram by name Sri Vamakeshwari Mata Vivarana. In the beginning of this commentary, Acharya Jayaratha says, Jayanti Paramadvaita Vijnanamrita Nurbharaha Purvam Sri Deepakacharya Pramukha Guravo Mama, meaning that he pays respect to all his former masters like Acharya Sri Deepakanatha and so on. Similarly, Sri Vidyananda, who wrote the Artharatnavali commentary on Nitya Shodashikarnavam, remembers with reverence Sri Deepakanatha Siddha, who is amongst the ancient commentators of Vamakeshwara Tantram, by saying, Ashri Deepakanatha tohi aganitair radyapi vrittihi krita. He has also quoted portions of Tripura Sundari Dandagam in his Artharatnavali commentary. The period of Sri Vidyananda and that of Sri Rajanaka Jayaratha have been estimated to be first and second halves of 12th century AD respectively. Then the period of Acharya Sri Deepakanatha Siddha should be the later half of the 11th century AD. Again, these are just approximate estimations only. Therefore, this Dandagam must be earlier to Lalitobhakhyanam and Sri Lalita Sahasranamam, which are considered to be the compositions of 12th century AD from South India. Sri Bhaskararaya, the great author on many Srividya works, who lived in the 18th century AD, has also mentioned about Sri Deepakanatha Siddha and Tripura Sundari Dandagam in his Setubandham commentary on Nitya Shodashikarnavam. Since Sri Kshemendra, Sri Dharmacharya, Sri Vidyananda, Sri Rajanaka Jayaratha are all Kashmirians, there is a possibility, a strong possibility, that Acharya Sri Deepakanatha Siddha also belonged to Kashmir. Moreover, we can notice that the goddess Sri Tripura or Sri Tripura Sundari praised in this Dandagam is not in the form of the four-armed goddess Sri Lalita Tripura Sundari, Sri Lalita Parameshwari, holding noose, elephant goat, floral arrows and sugar cane bow, as described in the Srividya texts like Lalitobhakhyanam, Vamakeshwara Tantram, Parashurama Kalpasutram, etc. Sri Lalita Parameshwari is the goddess who is worshipped in Srividya tradition, which attained its glory and fully evolved status in southern India. Sri Tripura Sundari of this Dandakam is also not in the image of Sri Bala Tripura Sundari, who holds rosary, book and hand postures of protection and bestowing boons. Akshashrak Pustaka Abhiti Varahastatu Balika. In Tripura Sundari Dandakam, the goddess Sri Tripura Sundari is of a simple form, of a simple appearance, with only two hands holding rosary and book and sitting in a lotus posture, Padmasana. It is the earliest representation of Sri Tripura Devi. We also do not find the names like Lalita or Bala in this Dandakam. The early branch of Srividya Sampradaya, Srividya tradition, took its course from the Sri Kramam or Tripura Kramam lines of the non-dualist Shaiva Agamas of Kashmir, emphasizing the importance of the three most potent syllables known as Triakshari as the sacred bijas of the Sri Krama goddess Tripura. It is the grandeur or the eminence of this Triakshari mantra that is predominant in the writings of many Kashmirian acharyas and also in the ancient hymns like Panchastavi, and it is the same that is evident in this Dandakam also, that is the glory of Triakshari mantra. Triakshari mantra prabhava. Later, when this Sri Krama branch spread and expanded in South India as fully evolved Srividya tradition, Panchadashi mantra became the primary and the most important mantra of the central goddess, the principal goddess Sri Mahatripura Sundari, and Triakshari became the Bala mantra. This hymn, Tripura Sundari Dandakam, belongs to a poetic category known as Dandakam. It is a kind of metric pattern where the length of a sentence crosses beyond the level of a normal poetic meter. That is, when the number of the letters increases beyond 26 in a line, then it is a Dandakam category. Danda means a stick that is long and straight, from which the word Dandakam is derived. The increase of letters beyond 26 should be in multiples of 3, like 27, 30, 33, 36 and so on. And each of this 3-letter increase is called a Gana. Sometimes the Gana can be of 4 letters also, that is multiples of 4 letters. An example of a hymn in perfect Dandakam meter poetry is Shyamala Dandakam by the famous poet Kalidasa. Let's see the cadence of Shyamala Dandakam. Sadararabdha Sangeeta Sambhavana Sambhramalolani Pasraka Baddha Chulisa Nathatrike Sanumat Putrike Shekhari Bhuta Sheetam Shurekha Mayukha Vali Baddha Susnigdhani Lalaka Shreni Shungarite Loka Sambhavite. Sadara Rabdha Sam Geeta Sam Bhavana Sambhrama, all 3 letters of 3-letter Gana. But we do not find such an accurate Gana order in Tripura Sundari Dandakam. There are a lot of variations here and there. At many places it is a mixture of prose and poetry styles. This text, Tripura Sundari Dandakam, first appeared in print as an appendix at the end of the book Nitya Shodashi Karnavam, edited by the respected and learned scholar late Sri Vrajavallabha Dwivedi and published by the Varanasi Sampurnananda Samskrita Vishwavidyalayam in the year 1985. As I mentioned in the beginning, I had attempted a translation of this Dandagam first with a commentary in Malayalam, for which I had sought the help of my scholar friend Dr. Shankar Rajaraman of Bangalore in helping me with the translation. I thank him for his help. I am going to give this commentary in 6 or 7 or 8 parts, depending on the time each part is going to take while explaining. I am still not sure how much time will be taken for each part. First 3 or 4 parts describing the beauty of the physical form of the goddess from feet to head, that is the Sthula Rupa Varnanam, and the remaining parts explaining her subtle form, Sukshma Rupa Varnanam. Further, I have also added a video chanting the entire Dandagam with lyrics appearing on the video, both in Devanagari and also in English transliterated form for the benefit of those who want to learn chanting this sacred hymn. I am also adding the lyrics in English of those portions of the hymn that are explained in this series, in the videos of this series also, for your easy following while listening to the commentary. With this introduction, now let us proceed with the commentary. I shall first utter the lines of the Dandagam and then give the meaning and further explanation wherever necessary, and shall go forward in that order. First, it is the benedictory verse known as the Mangala Charana Stuti. We may also call it a Dhyana Shloka, a verse meditating on the goddess Sri Tripura Devi, who is described and hailed in this Dandagam. Jayati Nija Sudhambhas Sambhava Vagbhava Shrihi Atha Sarasa Samudyat Kama Tattva Anubhava Tadanu Paramadhama Dhyana Samlakshya Moksha Ravi Shashi Shikhi Rupa Traipuri Mantra Shakti. Here in the first verse, the most hallowed mantra Triakshari, that is the mantra containing the 3 sacred syllables, is identified as the goddess herself and is venerated. We will have to separate the words and change the order of the words to understand the meaning. This process is known as Anvaya or Anvaya Krama in Sanskrit. Traipuri Mantra Shakti Jayati. The potency, the power of the mantra of Tripura, that is the triple bija of goddess Tripura, is victorious. What is its form? Ravi, Shashi, Shikhi Rupa, consisting of the subtle vigor or force of Ravi, the sun, Shashi, the moon, and Shikhi, the fire. Shikha means flame. The one with flame, that is fire, is called Shikhi. So, the 3 bijas have the forms of sun, moon, and fire. These 3 bijas are known in their special names: Vagbhava Bijam, Kamaraja Bijam, and Shakti Bijam. The elaboration of these 3 names of the bijas is given in the remaining portion of the verse. Nija Sudhambhas Sambhava Vagbhava Shrihi. So, the Traipuri Mantra Shakti, which has the benign and the auspicious Vagbhava Bijam that manifests from the true immortal ocean of ambrosia, Nija Sudhambhas Sambhava, Atha, then Sarasa Samudyat Kama Tattva Anubhava, which has the Kama Tattva, the Kama Bijam or Kama Raja Bijam that expands with great desire for creation, Sarasa Samudyat, which swells with intense appetite for creation of the universe, Tadanu Paramadhama Dhyana Samlakshya Moksha, which has the third and ultimate Shakti Bijam, which has the Paramadhama, that is the supreme abode called salvation, moksha, or the final liberation, which is the true target of all kinds of spiritual contemplative practices, dhyana samlakshya. That mantra Shakti called Triakshari or Tripuri, that is the power of Sri Tripura Devi, is victorious. Jayati is ever triumphant. The first verse or the Dhyana Shlokam adulates Triakshari mantra consisting of Vagbhava, Kamaraja and Shakti Bijams, placing it at the same pedestal of the Divine Mother, Sri Tripura Devi herself. Thus, this first verse also highlights the great tantric principle that there is no difference between the mantra and the mantra devata, that is the deity of the mantra. After this first verse, now the Dandakam portion starts, and we shall see that in the next part. Till then, Namaste.